Hi, hello, good day, everyone. I want to appreciate your presence and I want to appreciate your willingness to be able to hear from me today. My name is Wale Adejuebe. I am often called Coach Wale. Permit me to speak to you today on what I have titled Monetize Your Teaching Skill. Monetize your teaching skill. Teaching, before now, teaching has always been something known to happen in the classroom until now when the game is changing. I want you to understand as a teacher, the game of teaching is changing. If you are ready to dive into the change, you are in for it. This is the best time to be an educator. This is the best time to be a teacher. Oh, Coach Wale, it's as if you don't understand. There are so many things that are facing us in education. In fact, in private education space. My advice to you first, leave everything facing you in education. Leave it. Oh, yes. Face the work, face your career, face the things that are so important that you must pay attention to. And this is what led me to be able to speak to you like this. Teaching before now is known to happen in the classroom to a few number of students. You know, you get into a class, 17, 18 students in the class, and you start teaching. Everybody, they're happy, they love you, they like what you are doing. They want you to come again and again, possibly because you're a very good teacher. But the fact that you're a good teacher does not mean you are a profitable teacher. Because I discovered that at that time, a lot of teachers that were good didn't have an attractive lifestyle. And let me try and come to the term of why this attractive lifestyle. Why do I need a lifestyle that is attractive as a teacher? If you don't have it, then the profession may end with you. Your children will not be willing to take it up. The children around will not be willing to take it up. I mean, just ask some senior secondary schools currently what they want to be in future. I function in the space of career coaching for students. And I hear this every time when I ask them in the next 10 years what they want to be. Nobody talks about teaching. Nobody wants to teach. They want to be a footballer. They want to be a comedian. They want to be a musician. They want to be an engineer. They want to be a lawyer. All these things have certain things in common. The professions are attractive. Nobody says, I want to be a teacher. And you know why? It does not look attractive. You see, this is the reason why we have to adjust. We have to make sure that our lifestyle is attractive as a teacher. And to do that, you have to be able to monetize, or you need to know how to monetize your teaching skill. I'm not saying to monetize any other thing. If you are very good in teaching, you need to learn how to monetize your teaching skill. And so that is what this is about. So the big question is, okay, I think I agree with you, Coach Wale. How do I monetize my teaching skill? I'm going to be talking about monetization of your skill in three areas. Permit me, three areas. Number one, in expression, and please, not delivery. Expression. There's a difference between teacher's expression and teacher's delivery. I'm going to get there very soon. I'm going to talk about it in the place of expression. I'm going to talk about it in the place of trade. And I'm going to talk about it in the place of results. Three things: expression, trade, and results. You want to monetize your skill? You need to pay attention to these three things. By expression, what do I mean? By expression, I'm not talking about delivery. What you do in the classroom is called delivery. When you teach in the class, you have a curriculum, you follow, You have a scheme that you have prepared, or a timetable has been given to you, and you go into the class, you teach the children. Possibly, you engage some classroom activities that encourage the learners to be interested in the subject that you are teaching. You have a very good classroom management work to do. You control the class well. You are influential. They are interested in you. Hence, they are interested in the subject. All these things are called delivery. And as a teacher trainer, I train teachers for that. However, expression is different. Expressions are channels, outlets of your teaching skills. And one of the expression is just the classroom. The real problem of so many teachers today is the fact that they only have one expression, and which is classroom. Unfortunately, the money in teaching is in the quality and the quantity of your expressions. I'm going to say that again. Your money as a teacher is in the quality and the quantity of your expression. If you have only one classroom to teach, your income will be limited. I don't care the amount. I'm telling you the truth. No matter the amount, it will be limited. That's number one. The big deal about it is that you cannot restrict yourself. You can't put yourself in just a class and you're expecting that your income is going to improve and increase. Because when you put yourself in a class and you expect that your income will increase, you are only at the mercy of one thing: salary increment. That is it. And it is dangerous right now if all you have as income is salary. As a teacher, if all you have as income is salary, it is very dangerous. Number one, it conditions you. It boxes you. When people begin to say things of possibilities, when people begin to introduce things that goes in hundreds of thousands, millions of naira or not dollar, millions of naira, you can't picture it. You don't think it's possible. And why? Because of your salary. No, you have to see past that. And one of the problem is when your expression is just one, and that one is classroom. At that point, your major source of income is a school that you're working. I'm not saying that to work in a school is bad, but I'm saying that to remain and to keep and to make classroom the only place where you can express your teaching skill is not okay. Yes. My mission is to make teaching attractive so that the next generation will be able to do what? They'll be able to teach. So that we can have quality people in teaching. And this thing cannot be attractive if we are not talking about money. Oh yes, if we are not talking about profits, it can't. That is why I always appreciate any platform that is addressing this matter. I appreciate the platforms. So your expression cannot be one. Coach Wale, what are the likely expressions that you think I can have to monetize my teaching skill? Number one, teach students and try to increase the number. Oh yes. So you are working in the school, you teach the students in the classroom. Fantastic. That's very good. You can be an online tutor. That's an expression also that handles students maybe during the weekend, Fridays and Saturdays, or Saturdays and Sunday. No matter whatever, how you want to get it done, you can do that. Number three, you can write a book. Write a book. Yes. You may not publish it now, but write a book. And then I don't think you need to print a book right now. I'm telling you the truth. In the last 3 years, a huge part of my income on the internet has been around books, ebooks. I write ebooks a lot. Oh my God, yes. It is after I've made money from the ebook, then I print. It's amazing. So you have to know, you have to know the dynamics of these expressions that I'm talking about. Because it's not only about the expression. Remember, I said the quality and the quantity of your expression. So it's not about having to do many things. It's about how well am I doing these things. Some people have written a book and didn't sell. Why? because possibly the content is not right. Number two, the content is not meant for the audience that they are targeting. Number three, the messaging is not correct. It's not right. Nothing moves in people by reading the topic, the title of your book. It has to move people. That's very important. That's key and critical. So you can be an online tutor. You can write a book. You can write a book. You can train teachers. Enough of these teachers looking for students. You can also be a teacher trainer. You can. At that time, you can get contract from government. You can get contract from schools, private schools. Do you know the number of public schools? And when you are dealing with government, it may not pay in instantly. But do you know the number of teachers in government schools that really need so much? I'm telling you the truth. It's expression. The quality of your expression can be a teacher trainer. The things that you have mastered in your class, can you package it and then now begin to impart it into other people so that they also can now, improve, and then we begin to move this thing together. You can be. Oh yes, yes. The fifth one, you can, in your expression, you can take it to have an online school. Online school is very important right now. Oh yes, no matter what you teach. I have a lady who is part of my circle that came up with a video course on quantitative reasoning. And she did it because she said she noticed that virtually there's no teacher in primary school that does not have problem with quantitative reasoning. Says some of them don't even have answer to it. So they can't even mark the students. And then the school just keep giving them some of these quantitative reasoning textbooks. And then they have difficulty solving it. The entire school, nobody has the answer. I said, wow. So she made up her mind that she's going to go into that, and then she's going to build it. And to cut the long story short, this same person is making so much by making video courses. Do video courses. Do audio courses in the subject that you have. In so many schools right now, we have scarce teachers. Teachers are very scarce. I was in a school one time, and the geography as a subject in that school, I just saw that the teacher was in the television and the children sat down and they were writing. Only a teaching practice student was monitoring them. Oh yes, the school bought that video. You can create one and start selling. Don't forget, it's an expression. Apart from just start selling physically, Yes, and you don't need a CD. You don't know, we have even gone past that. Save it in a Google Drive and put it up. Your expression is very important. I'm pressed for time, but I want us to cover ground. So you can have an expression. You can be a consultant. Oh yes, as a teacher, if you have taught for more than 5 years, yes, you can be a consultant. The only thing is when you start the consulting, you start gathering the professional qualifications and a lot of things that you need to put in place that will give you credibility. But you know what? You're a mathematics teacher, you're an English teacher, English expert, literacy expert, handwriting expert. You can consult for schools. They come in contact with you people, you have an agreement, and then before you start, they activate you, and then work begins. Now, I want to go to the second part because the expression, the quantity and the quality of expression also may not necessarily lead you to profit if you don't understand this second stage. The second stage is the stage of trade. You want to monetize your skills, your teaching skill. Expression is not enough. Expression is not enough. You can have a book, you can have an online course, you can have, you can be teaching, you can have a tutorial center, you can be an online tutor, you can, name everything that you can do. Yet, your trade is faulty. Where the real money begins is in your trade. Is in trade. Trade. Teachers, you have to master trading. You see, now, I'm not talking about business. No, not business. Trade. Let's use the right word so that we can achieve what we are meant to achieve. When I say business, fantastic. You know, I talk about business of teaching, and the big deal about it is the fact that, it's about trade. Oh, trade? What does that mean? Trade is your ability to present your product and the real value and to get the right value for it. I'll say that again. Trade is the ability to present your product or expression and to get the right value for it. You see, the value of anything is not necessarily in the utility of the thing. The value of anything is actually in what is the demand that is placed on it or what the producer calls it. When an iPhone came out, iPhone, the value of the iPhone is not really in what the iPhone will do, or it's not really in the fact that the iPhone is better than every other phone. The value is actually in what the producers, the people that owns it, they have actually put something. There is more to a product than what you have in your hand. And this is very, very critical for you as a teacher to have. There is more to your product than what you have in your hand. Trade does not begin with price. No. Trade does not begin with price. If you're an online tutor, you may not have issue with what I'm talking about, but you know that you can maximize your profit potential with just sitting down online and teaching. And then you have maybe $2,000 that is given to you at the end of the month or at the end of the term. No, there is more to that. You have not written books. You have not worked with the number of schools that we have. An average city in Nigeria has nothing less than 300 to 400 schools. I'm talking about a town. I'm not talking about city. There's no cosmopolitan city in Nigeria that does not have up to 12,000 schools. That is money. Either you are doing it for them physically or not physically. That is a huge money out there. Now, the reason why I'm talking like this is because you have to understand the place of trade. You have to. Trade does not begin with price. In fact, be careful of an expression you have as a teacher that has a fixed price. That has a fixed price. Oh, we can't pay more than this. We can't pay more than that. Means you can't improve the business. No, you have to look for other things. You have to. And I tell you the truth, it happens. So it doesn't begin with price. Then the question is going to ask is, Coach Wale, what does trade begins with as a teacher? It begins with your brand. It begins with the perception of people about what you are. So I used to ask this question. How much will you buy a white shirt? White plain shirt. How much do you buy it? And some people will tell me 2,000 naira. Some people will tell me 1,500. Some people will tell me 3,000. I said, by the time I had a logo to that white shirt, that same white shirt, by the time I had a logo to it, how much do you think you buy it now? And then someone says 10,000. Someone said 12,000. I said, what happened? Did I change the material? No. Did I change anything? The only thing I did was to add a logo. Just a logo to the shirt. And that changed everything. Why? That is the power of trade. The people that have mastered trade knows that it is not the product that people pay for. It is the association with the product that people pay for. In other words, any of your expression, there must be your fingerprint. There must be your signature on it. Because it is that signature that people will pay for. I have been writing books, I've been publishing and I've been selling books since 2017. And you know the truth about it is, most of my best-selling books, most of the books that I sell, I've sold books. I've sold over 1,000 copies of books in 3 months. And these books are not for students. I've never written any book for students. I think I wrote one. I published one this year for secondary school students. I've never written any book for teachers. Apologies for that. I'm planning to release one. But most of the books I write are for school management, school managers, head of schools, proprietors, school directors. And sometimes I sell 1,000 copies. Physical books, oh, physical. I sell 1,000 copies in the space of 3 months. I'm always exhausting the books. And why? Because I don't just sell the book. I make sure that I put my print. I have created systems that allows me to speak first before introducing my book. Because I noticed that when I introduce the book to them alone without putting my print on it, I noticed that the price, some people price for 1,000 naira. Some people price for 1,500. They put it in the category of the story books that they buy. Some of those small books that they buy, because possibly it looks small. I'm telling you. So I noticed that, people are not going to pay for the product. People don't pay for product, they use the product. You must be the one to put yourself. People should pay for you. So I remember I do go to different schools. I give it to them. And before I do that, I ask them to let me talk about the book. And all you need to buy the book is to hear me talk about it. Oh my God. That is what I call association. That is what I call putting your prints, putting your signature on the book. Do a short video. Talk about what you have. Talk about the books that you want to sell. Talk about the product that you have, your expression. Apart from that, build a brand. A teacher should build a brand. Oh yes. The fact that you are teaching in a classroom, there are things that will not cross your mind. Because it is the school that you are teaching for that is building their brand. And it is how they build their brand that makes people join them. And the number of people that join determines the number of people you will teach. You see, that is even the reason why you see that some schools don't want to pay more. Because they know where the money is coming from. You are asking them to increase your salary, but they don't want to. Do you know why? Because they know the pay is not actually from the teaching that is going on in the class. They are consciously and intentionally building a brand that really determines the quality of parent that comes in. And so they look at it like, okay, let's just give 30% of this school fees. We are giving you 30%, whatever it is that you want to say. Some schools, 15% of the fee is what they give to teachers. And it's not enough. How can you as a person also put yourself in that situation where you can build your own brand? Because let me tell you, branding technology will outdo human technology any day, any time. Any day. That is still the concept of influencer marketing. A lot of young people right now want to be influencers, or they are influencers. They do things and it's working. They do what they do online, and then they just associate themselves with a brand, with a product. And before you know it, in 24 hours, the product that have not been selling starts selling like that. Why? Because they have built their brand. Teachers,